All right, we're going to review comparing negative numbers. For question 1, we have 4 and we have to compare it to negative 4. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a number line so you can see. Here's 0. The negatives are on the left and the positives are on the right. So 4 would be on the right and negative 4 on the left. As you go left, on this side, it becomes more negative or less than, right? So this would be your least going this way. This would be your greatest going to the right, okay? So 4, is that greater than or is it less than? It's going to be greater than. So 4, to show which one's greater, this symbol is greater. The less than is points to the left, so this is less than. If it was equal to, you would say equal to. Okay, so 4 is greater than, so it points this way, to negative 4. Okay, so that would be C. Okay, these are if it's greater than or equal to. Okay, number 2, I have negative 9 and negative 10. So let's go ahead and draw a graph. So since they're all both on the negatives, I'm going to draw 0 here. Here's negative 5. Here's negative 10. Where's negative 9? It's going to be right here. Okay. Now remember, looking at the one above, this is going to be your less. This would be your greatest number. Okay. So I'm comparing negative 9 and negative 10. So which one is greater? The furthest one to the right is greater. So negative 9 is the greatest number. So we would say negative 9 is greater than negative 10. So in that case, your answer would be B. Okay, for question 3, let's go ahead and draw a number line. And they're both negative, so I'm going to go ahead 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have to erase this and continue. 6 and 7. So negatives, these are all negatives. All right. So I have negative 6.2 and negative 6. So we know that we have a point here. And then we have a negative 6.2. Now, is the negative 6.2 in between the negative 6 and 5? Or is it in between the negative 6 and the negative 7? Think about it. You're getting bigger, right? Going to the left. Your negatives are becoming bigger. You have more negatives, but your actual number is becoming smaller, right? So my negative 6.2 would be between the 6 and the 7. You can think of it as like a negative $6.20, right? You're getting closer to the negative $7 or owing $7. So which one is greater? Is it the negative 6 or negative 2? The negative 6 is the greatest. So that means it points to the smaller, which is negative 6.2. So this is negative 6.2 is less than negative 6. So that answer is B. Question 4. It says, order the numbers from least to greatest. So I'm going to go ahead and write my number line. And I'm going to look for, so I have a negative 25, okay, and then a positive 13. I think that's the highest. So my graph needs to be between negative 25 and 13. So I want to keep my scale the same, so I can count by fives. So if I start with here, negative 25, and I go here, negative 20, negative 15, negative 10, negative 5, 0, 5, 10, 15. Okay, So let's go ahead and graph each one of these numbers. So I'm going to graph 3 in purple. So 3 is going to be about right here. And I'm going to go ahead and put the number in. All right, and then let's go ahead and graph negative 16 in red. So negative 16 in red, so negative 16 would be right next to the negative 15. So there's negative 16. And then in green, I have positive 13. So positive 13 would be about right here. And then negative 25 we've already done. So I'm going to go ahead and put a dot on there. And then 7. So positive 7. That's after 5, 6, and 7. It's about right here. And then last I have a negative 7. So a negative 7, a negative 7 would be between negative 5 and negative 10, so it would be about right here. Okay, so it says to order from least to greatest. Okay, so least, remember, is on this. So the least is over here, and this would be greatest. Okay, so we're going to just start. So we're going to have negative 25, negative 16, negative 7, 3, 7, 13. And I just took these numbers and I went this way to the right. So I started with the negative 25 and took each one. Okay, so that would be your order. Okay, this is question 5, and it says to order from greatest to least this time. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my number line. I'm going to look at my numbers. I have all negative numbers, and it spans from like a negative 15 to a negative 2. So I'm going to go ahead and count by, I don't want to put 15 points on there. So maybe if I count by 2s, so I have negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 8, negative 10, negative 12, negative 14, and negative 16. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph each one. So I have negative 7.5. Negative 7.5 is between the 8 and the 6, the negative 8 and 6, but it's closer to, so this would be, right in between would be negative 7, right? So it would be between actually the negative 7 and the 8. So it would be right here, negative 7.5. Okay. Negative 9.7. Well, here's negative 9 in between here, but I need negative 9.7, which is actually closer to negative 10. So this would be negative 9.7. And then the next would be negative 9. So I'm going to say negative 9 is green. And we already graphed that one. So here's negative 9 in green. And then negative 9.3. Let's put it in yellow. That's going to be, you can think of it as like a negative $9 and then negative 30, or negative $9.30, right? So this would be negative 9.3 here. Then I have negative 2. So negative 2 I'll do in blue over here. That one's easy. And then a negative 15 I'll do in black. And that's between negative 14 and negative 16. So here's negative 15. All right, so it says from greatest, which is on the right, to least. So I need to go this way. So the first dot that I see is negative 2. Then I keep on going. I do see a negative 7, but negative 7 was not on my in my order. So I don't need to put negative 7, but I do need to put negative 7.5. Then keep on going from right to left. I see negative 9 is next in green, and then I see a negative 9.3 in yellow, and then a negative 9.7 in red, and then keep on going, I get to negative 15. So this is from greatest to least. So my greatest number is negative 2, and my least number in this group is negative 15. All right, so that's the end of comparing negative numbers.